Hello, my name is Lewis and welcome to Gathering the Magic. Today we're looking at cards that have spiked in value since the release of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Getting straight into it, we're looking at the big dog Blightstel Colossus. This 11/11 golem has trample infect, is indestructible, and if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it into your library instead. So why has this card had such a huge spike? Because of Satoru Umezawa. This new legendary human ninja says whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library, putting one in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. But the most important bit being for Blightstel is each creature card in your hand has ninjutsu for 2 and Dimir. This essentially turns Blightstel into a 4-drop instant kill spell with that nasty infecting damage. If you look at the price graph now on screen, you can see that the reprinted Blightstel has risen to a record high, even above its anticipated pre-release price, and the OG Colossus from Mirrodin Besieged has reached a high not seen since the middle of 2020. You better believe that if this keeps on rising, it'll be getting even more reprints, maybe even in a secret lair.
No.
Before we look at some more price spikes, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for all things MTG. We've also just started a channel membership too. Become a prickly pal and help support the channel. Next up, another big riser here is Mindleech Mass. From Ravnica, this 6/6 horror with trample says whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may look at that player's hand. If you do, you may play a non-land card in it without paying that card's mana cost. Again, another big beastie boy that benefits in those Satoru Umezawa decks, thanks to that dangerous ability to cheat in the big bad creatures for just 4 mana. Ninjutsu it in and start stealing those non-land cards. The post-Neon Dynasty spike here is just insane. A card that for the last 15 years has only been a $1 range card and is now topping the $10 scale already. If you've invested in these and playing the long game, then hats off to you. A card normally fit for Horror Tribal and other Dimir based commanders, this is another card that if it keeps rising, it will be sure to have a reprint sooner rather than later. For the next high riser we have Hero of Bladehold. From Mirrodin Besieged, this 3/4 human knight with battle cry says whenever it attacks, put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the field tapped and attacking. Now what Neon Dynasty degenerate has boosted this creature's price? It is Ishin 2 Heavens as 1. This legendary human samurai says if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this hero will be triggering time and time again when it attacks thanks to the 2 attacking triggers that it has. So when you think about it, you're basically getting 4 times the value.
You're wrong and you're a grotesquely ugly freak. Thanks.
A card that has been steadily around the $6 range for the longest time has already had a huge double-digit spike and is hitting an all-time high for this card, so get in now before it's too late. Next on up from Planar Chaos we have Retether. This 4-drop sorcery says return each aura card from your graveyard to play. Only creatures can be enchanted this way. Now there are a few reasons for this card's price spike, one of those being Lightpaw's Emperor's Voice. This legendary Fox Advisor says when an aura ETBs, if you cast it, search your library for an aura card with mana value less or equal to that aura with a different name. Putting it onto the field attached to Lightpaws. Although you're not casting, you're gaining so much value from within this deck. We also have the new reconfigure mechanic that can lean heavy into aura based decks, and with plenty of aura loving commanders in the game, this is a card that will be staying steadily on the rise. Finally, looking here, this is a card that has already doubled in value, which is just crazy. I wish I'd have bought a copy for myself when I made a Lightpaw's budget deck tech a few weeks ago. And if you've not seen that, check that out after this, I'll put the link in the description. Before we move on to our final 2, I do want to very quickly let you know that we have a 4,000 follower Instagram giveaway taking place right now until the 27th of February. So if you want to win one of those tasty new Neon Dynasty precons, then check out our Insta for more. Another big riser this week is Inkai's Servant of Oni. From Betrayers of Kamigawa, this rat ninja with a ninjutsu cost of 3 and 2 black says when it deals combat damage to a player, you may put a target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the field under your control, with that added ability to be able to regenerate Inkais too. So why has this card crept up in value? First off again we have Satoru Umezawa. It's not much, but having this in a Satoru deck opposed to a Yuriko deck cheapens its ninjutsu cost by 1. Besides Satoru increasing the price of Inkais, the multitude of ninjas and ninja loving cards in this set will mean those commanders like Yuriko will get even more popular, and this being one of the best ninjutsu cards out there will only drive up the price as more and more people want it in their decks. But this is one to watch out for in the near future, with its value slowly but surely increasing, opposed to other cards on this list here that are surging in price. And before we move on to the last big riser in price, let's just look at some of those old Kamigawa cards that are now slowly having a quick rise in value. From the original Kamigawa block, we've also had big price rises for cards like Boro Palace in the Clouds. That legendary land you can tap to add 1 to your mana pool and pay 1 to return it to your hand, with this now being nearly an over $80 card. There's also been Masako the Humorless, a legendary creature that says you may play it anytime you can play an instant, and tapped creatures you control may block as though they were untapped. With this card rising nearly 20% in value this week. And then rounding up this quick look at all those old Kamigawa cards that have gone up in value, there is another legendary land in Shizo Death's Storehouse that says you can tap for a black, or you can pay a black and tap and target legendary creature gains fear until end of turn. With this again now rising to be a nearly $40 card. For the last card we're going to be delving into today, we have Urza, Lord High Artificer. This legendary 1/4 human Artificer says when it ETBs, create a 0/0 colourless construct artifacts creature token, with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Untapped artifacts you control can be tapped for a blue mana, and pay 5 to shuffle your library, exiling the top card. Until end of turn you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Now this could be a card that's been on a slight rise this week to balance out the loss in value it's had towards the end of 2021. Or it could be the particular love that Neon Dynasty has had for artifacts. As well as those usual artifacts you would find in this set, it has also been loaded with those vehicles which also class as artifacts. Maybe some people want to go Urza Flying Cars Tribal, or maybe I'm just clutching at straws and the value increase since release is just random and a big fat coincidence. As with any set new released, it is going to drive the prices of previous and old cards wild. So the real question is, what I want you to comment below, what do you think are the cards not mentioned on this list that will go up wildly in price in the next few months? Is it some really strong creatures that we've missed? I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think. There we have it. That is the list. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for all things MTG. Check out our link tree in the description below for all of our social media and affiliate links. For now though, I'm all tapped out, so I'll see you in the next video.